welcome. Honorable Chukwumo Moji, I'm the member representing Agwata Federal Constituency in the House of Reps.
So, a lot has been said about these cattle settlements, that's Ruga settlements, across the country. Many people have expressed their opinion in favor and against it. So we want to have your own opinion on the need, if there's need to do Ruga settlements.
It's not that many people have expressed opinion for or against. In certain geopolitical zones, people are vehemently against Ruga settlement. And then in some geopolitical zones, people are in support. Areas like in the northeast and northwest, you get more than 80% support for Ruga settlement because the settlement is a custom that they're used to. But in the south, southeast, and southwest, you will get vehement resistance because it is alien to their culture. It is not the part of life that people know. And from the experiences now, the ones they have around them are being hostile to them. And it is natural for man to resist hostility. So it is not as if something different is being done.
We want to know if there is any economic viability in that Ruga settlement.
Yes, in areas where you have the land, like Borno State, Niger State. Niger State is about 10 times the size of Anambra State or more. Borno State is about 5-6 times the size of Anambra State. In those areas where you have the land, you can carve out massive area of land larger than Anambra State and then practice Ruga settlement there. Must the policy be across the entire federation at the same time? So you have to pilot the program first in areas where there will be no resistance, like Borno State, in Sokoto State, in Niger State. And then you know the level of success and how the program will fare in those areas. Why people are being suspicious of the program is that it is difficult and strange to see a program where there will be a unilateral implementation across the 36 states of the Federation. That is why people attach political understanding to the idea of Ruga settlement, that it is a population displacement program. So if people from other countries who are not Nigerians, of a particular ethnic group, wants to be resettled in areas where they are not originally living, people will resist it. And there is that deep suspicion, especially at the time the country is deeply divided across religious and tribal lines. The lines are so visible. Since the Civil War, we've not had it as bad as this. So that is why people naturally are resisting.
Okay, sir, but looking at the constitutional provision, there's freedom of movement. Every Nigerian has the right to live and settle in any part of the country.
That is true. Yes, you are right. There is that constitution. It is enshrined. It's a fundamental human right, freedom of movement, association, freedom to reside in any part of Nigeria. That is by the individual, but not by a state policy. The Ruga program, the suspicious angle of that program, it is a government program. So that is why it is strange. Assuming people who are in cattle business, as mean they are in Anambra State, and you bought a large expanse of land, and decide to practice your business, nobody will resist it. But when it becomes a government program, then people read meaning into it. So constitutionally, there are people from the north who are in the south doing their cattle business. Nobody is disturbing them. I have a friend in Amansi who I call Prof. He runs cattle business in the past 10-20 years. And he is a friend of mine. He promised to give me a ride even when I come back. So, but nobody is disturbing him because he's doing his business. The way other people from various tribes are doing their business in Nigeria. We have our Weibo brothers in Kano who are doing motors papers. The government is not the government that procure land and shores for them. So it is strange for a government to outrightly use government machinery to establish a particular business.
Okay, sir, let's look at the letter former President Olusegun Obasanjo openly wrote to President Muhammadu Buhari. We want to know, he raised salient issues concerning the security of this country. What would be your reaction?
First of all, my opinion about Obasanjo as a former student union leader, I look at him as a former military head of state. So I'm not a fan of General Obasanjo, but that does not remove the fact that he is the greatest Nigerian living. There is no policy in this nation that is progressive that does not have his signature. From NYSC to today, from EFCC to ICPC to... It was Obasanjo that removed Nigeria from Paris Club debt. It has never happened before. So, but I don't like him because he's not a Democrat, as far as I know. But in terms of saying the truth, I think you give it to Obasanjo. And in terms of love for united Nigeria, I think that is why any advice from such a person should be taken seriously. And I think he said the truth. The country is at a tipping point. My greatest fear is that if care is not taken, the type of Rwanda-Burundi massacre will take place, which is it will be a simultaneous attack. It will be spontaneous, simultaneous, going in every area. In the last 2-3 days, you have seen the type of call we are witnessing. That so people should move from here. If you read the undertone in such a message, it means if we are living from here, live from our own side. That is why I'm even worried, because people who are in positions of power, they think they are free. If there is anarchy, even the man guiding you will take position against you, and your life will be at risk. That is why it is very important for us as leaders to take the situation serious. I don't think we have time again. If you read it across what the former elder statesman, former governor of Kano State said, Aminu Kano, read his own press release. This is across the Obasanjo. They are saying the same thing, that the thing has come to a place where everybody must rise. So it is not a question of party or tribe or religion. You have to save the country for you to practice your tribalism and your religion. If there is no Nigeria, what are you practicing again? So we have to safeguard the country first. People like us who, I don't have any property outside Nigeria, so where am I running to? So I think it's a very heavy challenge. And
lastly, will you not think that Obasanjo is helping to heat up the politics instead of he has the capacity to address his letter to the president and advise him? He chose to write an open letter where people now turn against the government, the present government. Don't you think from this letter he's heating up the politics?
No, I don't think so, because what he said, what he emphasized is in the public domain already. It's not secret that there is danger everywhere. And you don't blame him if the letter is done in a public way. Because I believe you me, there must have been other moves to get to the president. And if you continue repeating something and you're not getting result, then you have to let the people know. I think he has succeeded in putting us in the right perspective and then waking up people to do something. See, let me tell you, it is the inaction of those who should have known better. I think there's a quotation like that, and the silence of voice of justice, where it matters most, that makes it possible for evil to exist. And remember, Soyinka said the man dies in him, he who keeps silent in the face of tyranny. So we encourage Obasanjo, we need such elder statesmen, not somebody like Professor Nga Abdullahi, who is fanning the amber of disunity at his age, a former vice chancellor, somebody that is highly respected. These are people that are supposed to preach to the younger ones how we should accommodate ourselves. I have friends from the north who are Fulanese, and they are very nice people. When I was in the National Assembly before, we used to move from here to Katsina State, go to Kano. It was a very friendly type. You can't try it now. So it's a terrible moment, and we have to wake up. Let us remove sentiment. We have to commend Obasanjo for waking us up. It's just a call so that the worst will not happen. That's the job of an elder in an African society. There is an Igbo proverb that an elder will not stay at home and see the goat deliver in fetter. So he did the right thing, and we commend him for that. But in terms of his democratic credentials, I'm not an Obasanjo fan as a former student union leader. Yeah, thank you.